Let's go. I'm better than ever, they never been better than I. Regarded the hardest and I ain't even reaching my prime. They hate that I'm great and they faking I'm real as they come. So sit back and let me show you how this shit is done. My composition, my propositions, I'm raping the system. I'm killing the competition and all of y'all are my victims. Eyes and oohs as I'm ripping the instrumental. Lyrical, individual, never been sentimental. I'm so hot every time that beat drop. And when I say I'm raping the system.
Hey, what's going on, boxing fans and gamers? It's your boy, Fight Night's Finest, the Sofa Commentator, coming back at you with another Fight Night Champion online ranked match. Been a while since I made a video, and I just happened to be playing some Fight Night last night after playing some League of Legends on my Twitch, twitch.tv/xhalcyon. Link can be found in the description if you're interested. Sometimes I stream Fight Night, sometimes I stream some other games, sometimes it's League. You know, a variety of different choices, but we got a mirror matchup here, Tyson versus Tyson. But there's a little interesting dynamic here. One's Southpaw and one's Orthodox. Of course, I am in the Orthodox stance while my opponent is in the Southpaw stance. And this very first round here is a good example of just some good, clean, solid offense to defensive transitions. And it was a pretty fun and enjoyable match. There's a whole bunch of action and a whole lot of adaptations and a lot of different styles being showcased throughout the entirety of the match. So as you can see here, we have quite a bit of counterpunching going on and being able to sidestep and find good angles and not really get hit too much in return. This is why it's always important, especially in mirror matchups. There's two main things that you want to try to do if you can. And in my opinion, that is number one, take the outside from the opponent, and two would be make sure that you have a stamina attack on your opponent. Like if you get a stamina advantage, it makes, since you guys have similar stats or the exact same stats, it makes what you do offensively and defensively more effective. So if you're in the position of fighting a mirror matchup, try to keep your stamina as high as possible. But I do apologize also if you guys hear any of the little background noises and stuff, like I said, of the sound of the controller, because once again, this was a match that was done live on stream, so can't really help all the controller sounds. However, I will say this though, if you guys do just prefer hearing all the little extra clicks and stuff, if you're into that type of thing, a little gaming ASMR, if you will, or as Arachnid would say, if you will, let me know, and you know, I'll keep recording matches with the controller sounds and everything going on. But into round number 2 here, something interesting happened. Like I said, we was mostly on the back foot in round number 1. However, in round number 2 here, you see we are having to come forward. The main reason for that was because what happened in the beginning of the round. I always say it's very important to land the first shot, and this is why. Because the person who lands the first shot has access to gaining the outside. And of course, when you have to come forward, while that is some players' bread and butter, it can also make that you have to output a lot more stamina maybe than you would like to, especially early on. And we just talked about the importance of having the stamina advantage in a mirror matchup due to having the same exact stats. So we was forced to come forward. And of course, I think we're doing a pretty good job now here in the second half of the round of just really laying on the combinations, keeping the opponent trapped in the corner to the point where he can't really escape. And we're definitely pounding up the damage. The jab followed by the right uppercut did land right there. Straight right hand followed by the left hook, one of my favorite combinations. And you see, of course, we are not neglecting the body. There's the jab to the body, the power straight to the body, the combo downstairs, 1, 2 to the head, power straight, goes ahead and drops our opponent for the first time here tonight. And that makes it a 10-8 round, and that means we're gonna have a lot of progress and a big point advantage going into round number 3. So as we saw in round number 1, we pretty much didn't get touched, so getting the knockdown on top of it in round number 2 is definitely going to add some mental damage onto our opponent to make him feel like he has to do even more work than he initially may have had planned. And that's the great thing about taking the outside early. Also, having to come forward in the second round and go in seek and destroy mode in order to make up the point advantage also is going to do some mental damage as well, because the opponent's already been outboxed on the outside, and now he got worked on the inside as well. So that's double the damage. It's like, where do you fight this guy at? Where if if you're the opponent who's losing in this matchup, if you're trying to calculate a strategy, I believe that would be one of the thoughts that would go into your head. It's like, okay, maybe this guy was only able to do as well as he did was because he got the outside. But now I got the outside, and then I still get dropped. So where exactly could I beat him at? So my answer would be to try something from mid-range, of course, and look to see if I could just hot shot and kind of do what I'm doing here. So the main thing here was now just to box in round number 3 and try to showcase that even at mid-range or this poking range where we're fighting in the center of the ring and nobody's really going forward and nobody's really going backwards either, I could still showcase that I can win the round and take that away from him as well. So chest to chest, I'm going to have the advantage. That means, you know, we're just doing inside work. Outside, I'm going to have the advantage, and from mid-range, I should have the advantage as well. Plus, I already showcased a pretty good ability to counterpunch well in round number 1. So I want to just make sure my opponent knows that I'm taking away all of his options, and he's going to have to do something really creative in order to start seeing success in this fight. So round number 3, we're pretty much continuing with more of the same, boxing behind our jab, just trying our best to stay off the ropes when possible. We even use the clinch there, utilize the clinch there, and most of the time a little trick that you guys can do if you have not noticed already is after the clinch animation, I immediately always look for some type of offense, whether that's a combination or I'll try to go downstairs to the body with something quick, because I've already held the opponent, and then see if I can attack the stamina as well. That's usually a good thing. So as you can see here, we are up 4 points in the fight so far, 30 to 26. We get an extra point for the knockdown that occurred in round number 2, so we're in pretty good shape now. So now in normal circumstances, it's just taking the outside and just doing what we do best, hitting the opponent and not getting hit, because that's what the sport is all about. Hit and not get hit, and the same thing on the game. Take the outside and just pretty much make it an easy night for yourself. But our opponent has gotten pretty creative with his combination so far, and thus has the point lead in terms of the amount of punches landed. So I'll now have to come forward and I have to put out some more offense. And you see us doing that here, immediately recognizing the situation for what it is and starting to come forward and press the action. So even though we're getting hit a lot in this round, I figured if I can't get the point lead back, I will start working the body and start trying to take away their stamina from the opponent. So also, considering this is Orthodox versus Southpaw, you're going to see me throw the straight right hand a lot more than usual, as well as look for the right uppercut and the right hook. Those are going to be my main scoring shots, and of course, still look for range with the jab as well. But a minute left, or almost a minute left here in round number 4. You see us now starting to bring that point lead back by landing some pretty consistent offense without really getting tagged too much. Well, that's before the combos just started landing from our opponent. So we go back downstairs to the body and continue to focus there. Another little trick for you guys. I did mention it a little bit earlier, but always look to see if, hey, maybe I can't get the round back, but what can I gain as an advantage? Because you have to think long term in this game, and just most of the things in general. Thinking long term and trying to figure out what it is that you can do, not just sitting back and thinking to myself, oh, I'm just doomed because I lost a round, and you know, now it's gonna give him some momentum back, and mentally he's gonna think he has a chance in the fight. No, let's see if I can continue to do things that's gonna allow me to win the fight later on down the line. And that'll be making sure I maintain goal number 1, which is, well, goal number 2, which is to make sure I maintain a stamina advantage. So that's why you'll see me in situations where I'm losing rounds. I'll try my best to attack the body as much as possible. This way we have a chance of negating any of the comeback possibilities or the counterplay from our opponent. And I think that should be the goal a lot of times in most fights, is how can I land clean offense without giving back counterplay. Like, I like to be able to shut down a opponent completely and not really give him an option to get back into the fight. So that's what you see here in round number 5. You see us going back to fighting more safe, not looking for as many exchanges as possible. Here we're just looking to see how can I hit this guy cleanly and then not take too much return damage if possible. Power straight does not connect again. Once again, some more big shots just being thrown out for me here. I'm trying to get his respect so that he doesn't just feel like he can just walk onto the inside. So we're using our longest range punches, which would be the jab and the straight, in order to try to help us maintain defense. And one of the things I noticed from watching, I think it was Javante Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. So you'll see Javante like poke with that straight right to the body, and I've seen him do it in like some of the sparring videos he had, or I think it was Fight Hype, in preparation for that fight as well. It's just being very good defensively and just seeing if I could just poke to the body with the straight right hand, and then eventually that'll set up some offense for later on into the fight. So I tend to try to implement the same strategy here in round number 5, was see if I could just poke at the stomach and then look for some combos up top so I can solidify the point lead. But we did expand quite a bit of stamina in trying to do that, but I do think it was a successful round for us nonetheless. Round number 6 here, pretty much more of the same story. Let's see if we even try to adapt to a different strategy. Once again, just trying to land the first shot. He landed the straight left, I landed the right hook, so the point count is about even here. And once again, there goes another punch. So straight right hand connects for me, so I have access to the outside now. Just maintaining distance and trying to keep my opponent back. Good movement, good stiff jab. He lands a straight right up top. Not a problem. We trade punches again, so we're keeping count of the scoring here. It's about even still. And then the combo comes in up top, and then it's once again recalculating the point advantage. So I go downstairs to the body in order to get a few more scoring shots. This way, when I do land something effective up top, it will help out. But if I can't manage to get the point lead back, at least I would have attacked my opponent's stamina. So you see the game plan really coming into fruition, and the things that we talk about most of the time is just being implemented here, applying the game knowledge, applying the wisdom, and seeing what we can do with it. So our opponent's in a bad situation here. He's trapped against the ropes. We go ahead and start laying out the combinations just because we have proper ring positioning. And he's getting more tired, and eventually he goes down for the second time tonight by the beautiful combination, the beautiful, if I do say so myself, combinations that came up top, and like I said, second knockdown of the fight. So that's good for us. This is pretty much solidifying everything that we've tried to do so far. Has worked out pretty well. I also know now that I have stamina advantage, so now it's just about pressing the attack and seeing if we can put this guy away for good. Also, you see him starting to do random things he wasn't really doing as much before. The head movement, the random head movement is coming out. This guy's guessing, and you just see me here picking shots downstairs to the body because he is using head movement. The more head movement you use, the more of a stamina tax it's going to be. So I've already won the round. I don't think I'm going to put this guy down again. I don't have him near the ropes. So the main thing I'm just trying to do now is just throw a couple of shots on the inside, mainly with the focus being to the body, in order to affect the stamina recovery. So every time you see a lean back, a step, a missed punch, missed combination, that is an opportunity to deduct some stamina. You want to be like Uncle Sam. You want to be the IRS in the ring. Take something from your opponent, and mostly the stamina if you can. This way it'll be a lot easier for you guys to get knockouts later on into the fight. And you can go gun blazing sometimes in the beginning of a fight and look to just get knockouts, but like I said, long-term thinking, take away all your opponent's options. If you are much more skilled than him in every department, then you'll eventually get to the point where you can just walk them down and do whatever it is that you like. But I set mine up through my outside game first, and then when the stamina is low enough, because most players don't have good stamina management as it is, just makes a guaranteed knockdown anyway. So he goes for the headbutt. So when I see that, I saw a pretty good opportunity to get in this man's head. The psychology, the mental, we've already got him mentally. So let's go ahead and play it 3 times in order to really get him frustrated and continue to allow him to make even more mistakes. The headbutt was definitely intentional. He was desperate, seemed like to me, to try to get any type of damage he can, and I respect that. But now I have to add insult to injury, just so I can get him to make more mistakes when he comes out of here. And normally I'm not a person who likes to taunt or talk a bunch of trash or anything like that, but sometimes, if you notice some of the great players of basketball or even boxing, you hear Floyd talking to his opponent all the time as well. Also, I don't really like trash talking because it used to get me in quite a bit of trouble back in the day. But And most of the time, there's really no need for it, honestly. Sometimes, yeah, you really could gain a lot of good mental advantages from it. It's an anime called King's Avatar. It's like a Chinese anime, and it's all about like pro gaming and stuff. And trash talking stuff can indeed help you get into the mind of the opponent and force them to make mistakes. Some people is gonna motivate them to do even better. So you gotta be careful with how and when you utilize trash talk. Another thing too, they talked about this in like League of Legends pro playing stuff. You just hear like the enemy team get like first blood or first kill, and then everybody just cheering on the other side while you're on stage playing. And, like, can you imagine as a team how demoralizing that's gotta be? That left hook was insane, by the way. You even hear me laugh on the playback. Like, yeah, that was a pretty insane left hook, if I do say so myself. Pretty insane combination to set up. What was this, the 4th or the 5th knockdown? It's yeah, I just thought that was really dope. So pretty good overhand. Well, it's either left hook or it was an overhand left. I didn't exactly see. But yeah, 4th knockdown. We're going into knockdown number 5. This guy pretty much doesn't have anything left. You see the slow step. The frustration is picked up, and now it's just about sealing the deal. So we get him up against the ropes, start letting the hands fly. 1, 2, 3 up top, unable to land the combination. Right hook to the head, did connect. Goes with the power straight. Some uppercuts on the inside, and I'm just hitting him downstairs to the body, just like I did previously. Because like I said, I know that stamina is definitely low. So we stay in close, let him keep throwing, and just work the body. And if the body goes, the head suddenly follows. And there it is. 1, 2. 2-punch combination. Knockdown number 5. You can't get up from that one. And that's going to be all she wrote for my opponent. And that's going to be all for this video as well. If you enjoyed, please do me a favor and like the video. Apologize for the choppy commentary. It has been a while since I sat down on the mic in the booth, as Arachno would say. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.